It's going to be a very active Saturday morning as folks getting ready to head back home or bring back some of those gifts you may have received over the Christmas holiday. Welcome to Sunrise Weather. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, and we are looking at a Saturday filled with warmer temperatures, a wintry mix, and possibly tornadoes. Let's take a look at what's happening now. And we're going to start off in Chicago, as areas in the Midwest did have a lot of wintry weather around, and commuters had a tough time there with cars spinning out. Numerous interstates were closed, and officials had to deal with spinouts like that and accidents, along with more wintry weather. It's severe weather that's going to create problems as we head into the Midwest through the daytime hours today. So we do think the problems with any of the icy weather is going to be disappearing, because look at these high temperatures on Friday, 47 degrees in Chicago. So the good news is that the ice had the opportunity to melt, and it does look like more warm weather on the way. As we show here, these high temperatures on Friday will continue to move on off toward the north, and that's going to bring that severe weather threat to the center part of the country. Some storms already rumbling this morning. Let's take a look at the current temperatures as we head into the Midwest here early this morning, and those current temperatures are pretty mild for this time of year. If we flip on over to Viz, we can show you, there we go, 52 right now in Chicago. So any ice that was around has obviously melted. 66 in St. Louis. Yeah, this is December 27th, and it's real warm here, and this is one of the ingredients that's going to help trigger some of these thunderstorms today. And then back on the backside of the storm, that's where we've got the cold air mass, and that's where we are going to see some snow flying around. We already have that in places like Bismarck this morning, where temperature is a balmy 8 degrees above zero. All right, let's show you what's going on currently, and we can head on in and show you basically where the big problems are. Areas outlined in red are tornado watches. So that's here in Kansas City and St. Louis and places further toward the north. Not quite into Chicago, but still looks like some thunderstorms may be on your way in the Windy City as we head on through, probably within the next hours. You get down near Joliet, there are some showers and thunderstorms coming on in. None severe at this point, but the watch box is further down toward the south and includes Springfield and Peoria, and then places further south also included. And that's tornado watch. And this is one of 4 watches here that we do have in effect. Now, these storms here coming in and out of parts of south central Illinois were warned on earlier, but at this point no warnings are in effect. But a pretty strong storm there southwest of Peoria. So if you're in that area, you may want to look out for some strong gusty winds and some very heavy rainfall. Further down toward the south as we get into Missouri and back toward the west into Kansas and parts of Oklahoma, big storms coming in. On the squall line as it heads on off toward the east, heads up in Kansas City, probably within the next, I'd say 30 minutes, you'll see some thunderstorms rumbling on through, and then off toward the east. In this watch box, we could see some thunderstorms here in south central parts of Missouri, heading toward the southwestern suburbs of St. Louis over the next couple of hours. So a very active morning here, and as we could see as we get in on closer to some of these storms, you could see that they're very heavy and very intense. So very heavy rainfall, probably some intense lightning, even around Enid in Oklahoma. Looks like some strong storms heading on off toward the east. So this is going to be the threat today. These tornado watches in effect, meaning warnings and tornadoes are possible in and around the watch area. And then we also have on top of that a threat for some of this rough weather to be outside the boxes too, but still at this point looks like very heavy rain, gusty winds, and it looks like that threat for tornadoes continues through the morning hours. And then we'll have the flood threat as these showers and thunderstorms push on off toward the north, and we've got plenty of snow packed down locally in some areas in excess of 6 inches. That rain and those warm temperatures will lead to the threat for flooding. So we've got a frozen ground. It means this rain runs off, runs into the rivers, and with 1 to 2 inches of rain forecast, we could see some pretty big problems in terms of flooding in and around Detroit and southwest lower Michigan, northern and central parts of Illinois, including Chicago. Could see some river flooding or some localized flooding in the areas in yellow too. So lots of problems here in the Midwest, and it doesn't look like we are going to see much relief as we head on through the daytime hours today. So you want to keep tuned here to the Weather Channel. We'll keep you updated as we move on through the day. So let's take a look at the forecast in the Midwest. Show where we are talking about. Looks like we do have that severe weather threat here on Saturday. As we go through Sunday, we do see that storm push on off toward the east, and then some colder air coming back in behind the system. Looks like 29 degrees will be about all you do in Chicago. Look at St. Louis. It'll probably be close to 70 or above today. Tomorrow only 45. So the changes coming in. The good news is that the weather will quiet down as we move on through the day. All right, let's head on off and head into the northeast, where we could see some wet weather coming in also on top of snowpack. Right now this morning, starting to see some showers breaking out. And then also we've got some scattered areas of wintry precipitation, and there are some advisories in effect here. But as we head through the day, we are going to see most of that wintry weather push north And although there'll be a chilly start to the day, we are anticipating the weather to warm up as we head not only through today, but right on through Sunday here, as the rain comes on in as this warm front surges up to the north. So New York City, even down in Philadelphia for the Dallas and Eagles game, Dallas-Philadelphia game in the afternoon. Looks like some rain showers around, and then further toward the north, there could be some localized flooding in parts of the Northeast also. Let's show you the forecast quickly in the Northeast as we move through the daytime hours. Saturday, we should see some light frozen precipitation to the north with some light rain showers on down toward the south.
Introducing Payne's newest Vanishing Act.
New Icy Hot Vanishing Scent. Now the power of Icy Hot glides on icy to dull pain, then gets hot to relax it away, and the scent vanishes.
New Icy Hot Vanishing Scent.
And probably some pretty significant problems with travel as we head on through this Saturday and Sunday, as most people are trying to head on back from what we call a long holiday weekend. If you took the 4-day weekend, you probably were one of the lucky ones. So let's get right to it. We'll show you the highlights up in the Northeast. Not too many problems, but there could be some slick spots around as you're heading on to places like, let's say, Albany and down through the Hudson Valley of New York State. But for the most part, it doesn't look like we are going to see too many problems. And down toward the south looks good today, but the big problems are going to be out toward the west, where we are going to see showers, thunderstorms, and probably even some severe weather. We do have some tornado watches that are currently into effect here. Includes places like Kansas City and St. Louis, and it does look like we'll continue to see that threat as we head on through the day. Chicago, close to 60. Houston, 73 with thunderstorms. Could see some flooding, too, with some of these storms as we head on through the day. Out toward the west, another storm coming in. It does look like, though, the northwest storm will bring rain this time to places like Seattle and Portland. Milder and dry in the southwest. Looks like Los Angeles, you get up to around 63 degrees for your daytime high temperature today. So looks like we are going to have this severe weather threat, probably the biggest story of the day, with the low-level jet coming in, and then we are going to see some of these storms fire as we continue to move on through the daytime hours today. And that's going to bring not only some heavy rainfall, but also the threat for severe weather. And we do have many homeowners that know that frustration is likely when there's severe weather with rain and storms. And since water damage can lead to potential health hazards, it's important to take immediate action. Here's a look into